Hello, everybody. I'm Sherry Punak-Murphy from Bee City, Brandon, and I'm going to be presenting to you today about Brandon's City Nature Challenge. First, I want to start with a land acknowledgement that we respect the treaties that were made on these lands and acknowledge that the city of Brandon is located on Treaty 2 lands. Wherever you are watching, we welcome you to the traditional homelands of the Dakota, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Cree, Dene, and Métis people. Together, we acknowledge and respect the history, land, and the people of this area. So to start, I just want to say that we have an innate drive to connect with nature. And that's what the City Nature Challenge is all about, is actually trying to connect with nature, but differently in our urban centers. So the City Nature Challenge connects people to the local nature in our urban environments. It connects people to each other and build community in the person and online around local nature. And it's to collect urban biodiversity data that's available to managers and scientists, and grow a volunteer biodiversity documentation globally, and to have some fun, and to have some friendly competition. So the City Nature Challenge was established in 2016 down in California. The two cities took part, San Francisco and Los Angeles. The two universities there decided that they were going to compete against each other on who could get the most observations on the iNaturalist app. So the first year in 2016, over 1,000 people participated. There were over 19,000 observations made and 2,544 species were found in that first year. So the City Nature Challenge through the years, this has started, like I said, in California in 2016, and steadily increased in the number of cities that have participated all the way up to last year was 419, and 44 different countries and over 1 million observations. So it's expanding exponentially, actually. So this year, the City Nature Challenge, which will be going on around the world at the same time, is April 29th to May 2nd. So this was the first year of the City Nature Challenge where Canada participated, was in 2018. And you can see that there's countries around the world that have been participating since that time. In 2018, 17,000 people participated worldwide and 599 rare, endangered, and threatened species were documented, which is important because we need to know which species are rare and endangered and where they are occurring. So last year, the City Nature Challenge, as you can see, expanded globally, and it was the first time Manitoba participated, the city of Winnipeg participated. And this year, it's going to be Brandon participating as well. And hopefully, I'm hoping that we can beat out Winnipeg with the number of observations that we have per capita. So why would you participate in a City Nature Challenge than the one that occurs here in Brandon? Well, one is to connect with nature in your community. This is a chance to explore areas of Brandon and see what kind of animals and wildlife and plants and fungus and insects are occurring in your local parks, along the sidewalks, and even in your own backyard. Two, to learn from experts. The City Nature Challenge attracts experts from all over the world that study a whole pile of different wildlife. And the more species that get identified, the greater their research data gets. So in a sense, you are helping scientists help wildlife. And then my favorite is bragging rights. And we haven't officially picked a fight with another Canadian community, but for me, I always want to beat out Winnipeg since we were the first bee city in Manitoba. I want us to be the champion City Nature Challenge in Manitoba. So what exactly is this iNaturalist and what is citizen science? Well, iNaturalist is a website that you can go to at inaturalist.ca. It is run by the Canadian Wildlife Federation along with Parks Canada, NatureServe Canada, and the Royal Museum. And you can do your stuff on inaturalist.ca, and you can also download the app. So here it is in a nutshell what iNaturalist is. It's a free app on iOS and Android where you can upload observations, explore and identify, share with other naturalists, and then discuss your findings. So what you do with the app is you take a picture with your phone, you upload it to the app helps you identify what it is, and then experts in the field and other naturalists will come by and identify it for you. It's as simple as that. So it's hard for me to share my Android device through a presentation. So what I did was, and I suggest that you do this, is actually sign up on inaturalist.ca. It's a bit easier than on the app with your thumbs and stuff. So this is the welcome page on iNaturalist. There's a different picture every time. This is a spiny soft-shell turtle that was found in Lake Erie, Ontario. We don't have these in Manitoba. But you press this sign up button right here, and it'll open up this page. So what you do is you type in your email address, create a username, a password, indicate that you are not a robot. Unless you are, you can lie, and then agree to the terms and reference, and then down here is the submit. So here's my profile page, and you don't have to have anything fancy on your profile page. You can not have anything if you want. I just have because I like to connect with other people. So this is me, Sherry Punak-Murphy. My username is Hipster Mama. This a little blurb telling you that I am a biologist at Canadian Forces Base Shiloh, and that we're located in the Aspen Parkland area, and that a lot of my observations are from there. What I like, and I like insects, but my specialty, I guess, would be botany. And then a picture of myself. So you can see on here that there are observations, edit observations, calendar, and journal. Like there's a lot of different things that you can do. But up at the top, you have explore your observations, community, and identity. So you press the community button and select projects and type in Brandon City Nature Challenge. And this will come up, the City Nature Challenge 2022 for Brandon. So you click on that, and this is our page. This is about our project. What it is just the city limits. So if you go up to Brandon Hills, your observations will not be included, just within the city, and just during the times from April 29th to May 2nd. Now that's really hard in Brandon, as opposed to say California that has things blooming all the time and wildlife all the time. But you can still capture a lot of things here in Brandon during that time, such as fungi and lichen and trees and birds and some insects that are around, some plants that are flowering, grass, etc. And I'll tell you a bit on how to take pictures of that sort of stuff. So on the project page, tells you the project, how long, how many days away it is. Of course, it's more than 29, it's less than 29 days now. And what we're doing for the project is any taxa, which means any wildlife. And I always like to say anything that's alive. You can, it's best if you take pictures of wild things, but if you take a picture, say, of a flower that's blooming in your garden, just put down that it's a captive observation, and there's a little button that you can press. So here's some of the observations that I've made this past year, about 5 months ago. As you can see, this is a Downy Woodpecker. I took the photo from quite a distance away and then cropped it in so that it could be seen by the app and also others who would identify it. As you can see here, it says research grade. That means somebody else has come along and said, yes, that's what that species is. This one here, this moths are really difficult to identify. And usually it takes an expert to identify them. So chances are this will never get research grade, and it's only identified to the genus. Most things have a genus and a species, sort of like I have my first name is Sherry, my last name is Punak-Murphy, and then that's me. For the Downy Woodpecker, it's Drylobates pubescens. So it's like its first name and its last name. And it's the same everywhere in the world when you use the Latin names. So just a little bit of science there for you. So in the iNaturalist, you can upload your stuff online, and you can also do it on your app, on your phone. This is an example of what it looks like on the app. And so you upload your picture, and this is a picture of a bunny coming up to Easter. And you click on here where it says species name, and it'll come up with, this is the genus, the first name. And then it says it could be a Leptis townsendii or a Lepus americanus. Now, I don't know my mammals that well, and I didn't see the backside of this animal, so I'm not too sure, so I just called it Lepus. And then over here is the date that the photo was taken, and then the location. I just placed a dot in the middle of Brandon, and that's the location. So that's all it takes to upload and put your photos of wildlife up on iNaturalist. And then eventually somebody else will come along and say whether or not that's what it is, or give another suggestion of what it could be. So photo tips, because it's all about taking the photos. Now, I must say that you can take photos with your phone, and that's the easiest because it's got the GPS reference and it tells you where it is. And so then all you have to do is just insert the picture and identify it. The second way is actually taking it with a real camera, such as this one, and uploading the pictures through the app. And the only thing that you have to do different if your phone doesn't have a GPS stamp on your images, you just have to pick where you took the picture. And it can be a dot, it can be an exact location, or it could just be somewhere in Brandon. Especially if you're dealing with rare species, you should just do a big circle. So photo tips. Always, always, always crop your photos. So there's a little bit of editing that you need to do. As you can see in this first picture, it's really hard to see the butterfly with all the grass. But if you crop the photo and just crop the butterfly, it can easily be identified. Insects are really hard to take pictures of because they move very quickly. So what I do is I get my phone, and as soon as I see what it is that I want to take a picture of, I take a picture really quick. And then I tiptoe up, take another picture, tiptoe up, take another picture until it flies away or runs away. And then later I go and I crop the best photo. So the more pictures you take, the better chances that they'll be clear and that you can crop them and them still being able to be identified. Multiple views, which I think is really funny that they use an insect as an example, because normally you're going to be getting these while they're out in the wildlife. Try to get a front end view and a top end view and a side view if you can. If not, that's okay too. One of the neat tricks that you can do if you have a jeweler's loupe or a hand lens or even a magnifying glass, put it up against your phone and you can take some close-up pictures of your wildlife, of your plants or your insects if you've captured them. So beetles, bugs, and crabs, the best, well, I doubt that we're going to get any crabs here. This was made from a booklet from British Columbia. So of course they have crabs there, but take them from above so that you look straight down at them. And also if you can get their face, that would be good. Bumblebees, flies, and leaf hoppers. Get the side, get the bum, and if you can, get the face. For tiger beetles, and I put this one in here just because they're my favorite beetle, you have to get the face. Look at this face. Isn't it just a cute little face? And then the top of the species. Butterflies and moths. Everybody always takes pictures of butterflies with their beautiful wings open up and you see all the pretty colors, but you also need the other side of the wings. And for moths, try to get them with their wings open and wings closed if you can, but moths are very hard to identify. So whatever you can get with them, moths are easier to take pictures of than butterflies because butterflies tend to fly around and moths tend to rest a lot more. Dragonflies. The photo should be taken from the side because these stripes on here and along the side are what helps indicate what the species is. And then also get the top straight down off the top. And then if you can get their hind parts, the terminal parts, that's also useful for identification purposes. Birds and mammals are hard because they move fast and you can't get close enough to them. As you remember from my Downy Woodpecker, I would say I was a good 10, 15 meters away from that bird before it flew off. And so I just kept tiptoeing closer and closer until I could get a good picture or it flew away and then just cropped it. So even if your picture cropped is blurry, and not that some of the details will still appear and people, birders especially, will be able to identify that species. Vascular plants, meaning like trees and flowers and that kind of stuff. It is best if iNaturalist allows you to put multiple pictures of one individual on. So with flowers, the best is to get the head of the flower, get the leaves, get underneath the flower and its basal leaves to help with the identification. For example, if you are going to take a picture of a tree, which I think a lot of us should during the nature challenge because there will be a lot of trees, take a picture of its bark, take a picture of a twig, and take a picture of its bud. And if hopefully we might have some leaves, take some pictures of the leaves and some seeds. And then you can upload all of those for that one observation and it will be able to be identified. So here's the flowering plants. These are just fancy terms for the flowering head and the leaves. And photograph as much as you can so that others would be able to identify it. I am imagining that there's going to be a lot of photos of dandelions. So it'll be good to take a picture like from the top, from underneath, and then its leaves. Fungi and lichen. These are new for me. I'm mainly a plant and wildlife person, and I'm just getting into fungi and lichens. You have to take a picture of what the fungi or the lichen are growing on, whether it's wood, whether it's the side of a building or a tree. Make sure that you get where it's growing. And for fungi, get the top, but you also have to get underneath as well. Try not to remove them. Try to get underneath and try to leave the wildlife as it is, if possible. And lichen, you take the top view, and then you also kind of peel it and take a look underneath and take a picture. So our City Nature Challenge 2022 is the first time Brandon's going to be doing it. We are on Facebook and you can join us on our Facebook page. And we're also on Instagram on Brandon City Nature Challenge. And this is our Facebook page. And that's it. It's actually quite simple to do, and it's fun. You can go out and do it with the kids. If you have any questions, you can contact us at bcitybrandon@gmail.com or on Instagram and Facebook at bcitybrandon or at Brandon City Nature Challenge. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.